welcome. You're watching Money 9. I'm Sakshi Patra. Well, we all know that financial inclusion today goes beyond banking the unbanked. It actually means providing every citizen the knowledge and the tools that will help them save, invest, and grow their money to achieve their life goals. And on this show, we catch up with entrepreneurs in the fintech space that are doing just that is helping you save and grow your money. On the show today, I will be interacting with a very special guest. With me, I have Mr. Ankit Kera, co-founder of Junio, and on this edition, he joins me on Kaise Bachaएं, Kaise Padhaएं. Welcome, Ankit, and thank you very much for taking out time for this interesting discussion on Money 9. It's great to have you with us.
Thank you for having me, Sakshi.
So, Ankit, let me just kickstart by asking you to first help us understand a little bit more about Junio, the one of its kind digital pocket money smart card for children. Now, this concept is very new. Help us understand what really took you to launch this and what was the reason exactly behind launching this startup.
So my experience broadly revolves around payment industry. So I've spent around 5 years at Paytm. Have seen that company grow from that scale to a $16 billion company now, which is now filing an IPO at 13 billion. So my experience was in payments industry, and I and my other co-founder Shankar Nath were discussing few ideas to do something in this space. And during our meeting, Shankar's daughter, 12-year daughter, came up and started asking for OTP. In the middle of the meeting, and Shankar couldn't see that where the money was being spent. He just had to give the OTP for the transaction. That's when the idea came up that this is a problem statement, that these kids are tech savvy, they know how to do online transactions, and they are the future. They will have the spending capabilities when they grow up. So why not build something for them? And that's when we started this idea and did some research on it and launched Junio.
Absolutely. Very, very interesting. So is that the age group, the 12-year-old to 14-year-olds, is that the age group that you're targeting with Junio?
Yeah. So when we started it, we thought that 12 to 16 will be the target audience, but we are surprised that even 10-year-old are using the Junio app now. Because we have left it on parents to decide when they want kids to start managing money.
Absolutely, and it's absolutely important because we know that today's children are being brought up in the digital age and digital era, and they perhaps know much more and they can adapt much faster to the digital world. So it's important to bring that knowledge to them. Help us understand what all does Junio do? How does it really help children, build in or inculcate those financial habits, and how does it work as a smart card?
Yeah. So what happens is a parent signs up on the Junio app. Then he adds details of his children, and just a minimum details are required, like name, date of birth, and the phone number if a child has a phone. Immediately a virtual card is issued to a child, which is a MasterCard. And at the same time, child signs up on his phone, and both are connected to each other, so both see the same view which a parent is seeing. And then when parent tops up that card, which is a prepaid card, child gets to use that money on his own. So now he's independent. He has his own card. He doesn't need to rely for the OTP to parent, and he can make his decisions. So this is the basic thing that we have solved. Apart from that, inculcating the financial literacy in children is the main objective, rather than just being a payment instrument. Because payment instruments are many in the market, like Paytm Wallet, or even the kids' bank accounts are there, which they can open. But the key thing is inculcating the financial discipline. For that, there are some features within the app. I'll give you an example where parents can set up certain tasks for child to do, like every day do your bed, I'll give you 50 rupees. Pick up your utensils after eating food, and I'll give you 100 rupees. So in this way, they are setting up good behavior and also making kids earn money rather than getting it on demand. Then they start to value it much more, which doesn't happen in like current scenario. They can just ask for money and they get it. So that we are trying to change. Apart from that, if there is some big ticket item, let's say a child wants to buy a 5,000 rupees bicycle. Then what happens currently is he just asks for it, parent gives it, and then a child uses it for 2-3 months and then throws it away because he didn't work towards it. But in this app, they can set up a savings goal of 5,000 rupees, and every month from the pocket money of, let's say, 1,000 rupees, 200 rupees gets deposited into that savings goal.
Mm.
And once that goal is achieved, that's when they get that particular thing. Then they value it more because they have earned towards it. So these are small things that we have added in the product features.
Absolutely, very interesting. But I also wanted to ask you, these are the times when we are, also talking about, as in when we are going towards entire digitalization of the economy, more and more digital payments are taking place. But there are also on the flip side, more online frauds are taking place. Cybersecurity is going to be, it's becoming an increasingly, bigger concern for everybody. So at this point in time, when we are exposing children to the real world of being able to use this money digitally, are they at more risk because given their tender age and not being able to understand how these things can actually happen and how people can trick them, and if yes, then how are you tackling that?
Yeah, so you'll be surprised to know that kids are more tech savvy than an adult currently. So that is one thing. Apart from that, what happens in current scenario is a parent gives his card to a child, and if it's a credit card, it's at a limit of 1 lakh or 2 lakh rupees. So the entire amount is exposed with just single OTP. And if they give a debit card, then the entire bank account is exposed.
Hmm.
But in our case, it's a prepaid card and it's a pocket money card. So parent usually tops it up with 500 to 1000 rupees at a time. So it limits the overall exposure. That is one thing. And apart from that, a card can be enabled or disabled with a single tap on the app itself. So if a
Hmm.
card gets lost, then both parent and a child can disable that particular card.
Hmm.
That functionality we give. And also the regular things that a bank does, like educating kids on don't share the OTP, use it only on verified websites, those kind of messaging we do. But the
Okay.
basic part is the total exposure limit is very low, so
Hmm.
that gives peace of mind to parent and a child.
Understood. Now, just to understand that, perhaps you launched at a time when we were bang in the middle of a pandemic. I think the idea
Yeah.
was conceived during the pandemic in 2020, in the second half. And then you perhaps launched this platform early this year, if I'm not mistaken. So help us understand. This is the time when we were actually seeing that because of the kind of contactless payments and no human contact, things also got accelerated because of the kind of risks that one had from the other humans. So help us understand at this point in time, have you also been able to reap the benefits of the rise in digital payments? Or do you think, on the other hand, because of the pandemic, there was a hit on household finances, people have refrained from exploring such platforms?
So overall, digital payments are increasing since demonetization has happened.
Yeah.
People started using Paytm and all these Phone Pay and Google Pay came up. So UPI is on the rise month on month since then. Uh, Pandemic may have helped, but pandemic was little like it wasn't good for cards industry
Okay.
because the shops are closed. There's no place you can use the card. So offline usage of the cards dropped significantly, even though online picked up. And also because of the lockdown, online also there was a drop. So I
Mm.
won't say that pandemic helped in driving the digital payments more. Some people may have come in the ecosystem, but overall the payments industry suffered a bit during those months because there was no deliveries happening, so online shopping stopped, and even the shops were closed, so cards were not used.
Yes.
But we launched it in the month of March because that's when we thought that the pandemic is over, the cases were coming down,
Yes.
and it shot up suddenly in the month of April, and April was the worst that we saw.
Mm.
So May and June were the full months where we saw the potential of the product, and we are very happy with the scale that we have seen. Within the 2 months, we have seen close to 250,000 users using
Mm.
Junio already.
Okay, so it has scaled up quite fast. Any challenges that you've come across in your initial launch and right now? And what are the things that you're perhaps looking to tackle any of those challenges that are coming up?
Yeah, so when we started, we did some research, and a company called Greenlight Card is there in US, which is on
Hmm.
the exactly the same concept, and that
Hmm.
is more than $2 billion company. So we were inspired by that, and we built a product around that. So the product worked in a way that parent would sign up, and then they will add children to it. But
Yeah.
to our surprise, children were more excited towards this product than a parent. So they were signing up first.
Hmm.
So that was a learning to us, and that is a different thing for our market compared to the US or UK. So that challenge came up, and within a week or 2 weeks we had to redo the entire flow for the app and relaunch it with child signing up first. So now more than 70% of the cases child signs up first. So if you search it on YouTube, you will see a lot of children making unboxing of Junior card, using the card at a shop, doing the ATM test. So they are more excited because something has been built for them for the first time, because every time
Hmm.
the product that comes up is for the adults.
Right. So have you been also advertising your platform on YouTube Kids and those platforms which are actually catering to kids right now, or is it just normal ways of awareness spreading?
So starting up with the digital marketing, and of course we are advertising on YouTube as well for the user
Hmm.
acquisition.
Hmm.
Yes, and we have a brand film also built for this particular purpose,
Got it.
and it's working out really well for us.
Got it, got it. Now you did talk about the initial challenges and how you overcame that. One thing that I comes to my mind is that money and finances as a topic have always been in India the adult business. And it's the adults who actually make any kind of decisions for finances. In some places, it's also a taboo to talk about money in households. Parents largely don't involve their children until they're much older. As an idea, are you facing that obstacle at all?
So parents want to teach personal finance to kids because
Mm.
financial independence is what everyone seeks. But what happens is child gets the opportunity to learn about it at the age of 22 or 23 when they get their first salary. And by the
Absolutely.
time it's very late, and they don't know how savings work, how compounding work, and they don't actually work towards saving. They spend the entire money, and parents know it. And something like this have come up in the market, so we are getting very encouraging feedback from parents, and if, like, they have not been doing it because there was nothing around this available, and kids got the money very easily, but through
Mm.
this, now they're making it a little difficult for them to earn money. They have to do something to get it, so it's
Yeah,
working out
absolutely.
in their favor. Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm sure like parents are very happy this way that they don't have to just shell out pocket money like that.
Yes.
But I wanted to understand from you a broader perspective of how big is the current market of fintech startups, especially catering to and targeting kids, and what is the growth potential out here that you see going forward from here over the long term period?
Yeah. So we have close to 200 million kids
Hmm.
in the age group of 10 to 18 who eventually will have significant spending capabilities by
Hmm.
2024, 25, 26. Out of that 200, we feel that close to 80 million is something who are currently getting some money ad hoc, and they are making some purchases. They are the decision maker for those purchases, even though it is happening through their parents' card, but they are doing the purchases. And also,
Hmm.
we have seen the edtech industry. So Baiju claims that they have close to 80 million registered users who are taking online education. So that
Hmm.
market is we are going after, and
Hmm.
80 million is the overall base that we are targeting. But with time, I think the entire 200 million eventually will start spending when the per capita income and everything increases in India.
Okay, understood. And lastly, I wanted to understand from you. Right now, you've spoken to us about the features of Junio, how it teaches children financial literacy, the basic concepts of earning, managing money, and also the transaction aspect, how you can save and spend.
Yeah.
What's your vision for growth going forward from here? How will it really grow on and, tap a bigger market? Are there going to be new products that you may be looking to add? What will it eventually evolve into?
Yeah, so see, vision for Junio is we want to become their bank for life, because
Hmm.
we don't change bank account. Once we open it, we continue to use it. So there is a merit of catching these kids early, and if they're comfortable with your brand, you can map their money journey. So at the age of
Hmm.
18, when they need a bank account or when they need education loan, you will be there. At the age of 22, 23, when they need a personal loan, you will be able to provide them. They need credit card, they need debit card. So anything related to money for these kids, we want to become their brand.
Right. So basically, you may be also applying for a small finance bank license sooner or later. Is that on the cards?
So we are applying for a PPI license, which is a prepaid
Okay.
instrument that is
Hmm.
required to issue these prepaid cards. Currently, we are riding on RBL and some other players, but
Hmm.
eventually we would want to have our own. And apart from that, we are also applying for an NBFC license so that
Acha.
we can provide education loans to these kids.
Okay, understood that. Well, all the best for all the vision that you've spoken to us and shared with us all about. And I'm sure this is going to be an interesting aspect and a space to watch out for as it grows from here on. And hope to catch you again on Money Nine. Thanks for speaking to us.
Thank you, Sachin. Thank you.
All right, and with that, we wrap up this edition of Kaise Bachaye Kaise Badhaye. We'll keep getting you all those interesting voices from the world of fintech and how the space is really developing, helping citizens in various aspects of finance, helping them grow and save their money as well. And in case you're interested in this space, then do not forget to like and subscribe to our channel. Hit that bell icon so that you can get notified whenever we add a new video. And also stay connected with us through all our social media platforms. That's Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram. And also visit our website money9.com. That's both in English and in Hindi. And you get to read up all the latest news buzz on markets, business, and personal finance. Thanks for tuning in for now.